Hello, my friends. Welcome to Learning English Through Books. I'm James, and today we are diving into something very different, very dark and beautiful. We are going to explore one of the most important questions a human being can ask, to be or not to be, from William Shakespeare's play, Hamlet. But before we begin, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt so sad, so tired, so lost that you wondered if life was worth living? I want you to think about that for a moment. Because if you have felt this way, then the words you are about to hear speak directly to your heart. Please leave a comment below and tell me, have you ever felt this way? I would love to hear from you. This monologue is about the darkest thoughts that come when everything falls apart. It is about pain, about depression, about a person asking the most important question of his life. In this episode, I will explain this monologue in simple English. I will help you understand not just the words, but the feelings behind them. I will show you why these words have touched millions of hearts for over 400 years. And I will help you see yourself in Hamlet's struggle. At the beginning, the English will be very easy. Then slowly, it will become more difficult. This way, you will grow as you listen. Now take a deep breath. This is a heavy story, but it is an important one. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The World of Denmark. Before we can truly understand Hamlet and his famous monologue, we must understand the world in which he lives. We must understand the place, the people, and the situation that surrounds him every single day. Hamlet lives in Denmark, a cold, northern European country. The weather is dark and gray most of the time. The days are very short in winter. The nights are very long. You can imagine sitting in a dark castle, watching the snow fall outside, with nothing but darkness and cold around you. This dark, cold setting is very important because it mirrors the darkness in Hamlet's heart and mind. Hamlet is a prince. A prince is the son of a king. He will one day become the king himself. On the surface, this means Hamlet has everything that most people want in life. He has wealth, he has power, he has education, he has status. He has respect from the people around him. He has the best clothes, the best food, the best castle. He has everything, except for one thing. He does not have happiness and peace. In Denmark, at the royal castle, things seem fine on the surface. The king sits on his throne. The queen wears her crown. The nobles come and go. Celebrations happen. Music plays. People dance. Food is served. But underneath all of this, everything is rotten. The Danish court is a place of secrets and lies. People smile at each other, but they do not trust each other. People speak kindly to your face, but they plot against you when you leave the room. People pretend to be loyal, but they are thinking about how to gain power. This is the world where Hamlet must live. This is the world that surrounds him every single day. And this world is suffocating him. Chapter 2. Who is Hamlet? Hamlet is a young man, probably in his early 20s. He is very intelligent. He has studied at universities in other countries. He reads books constantly. He thinks deeply about everything. He asks questions about life and about the world. He does not just accept what people tell him. He wants to understand things for himself. Hamlet is thoughtful. He does not act quickly. He does not rush into decisions. He thinks before he speaks. He considers many sides of every question. He tries to see the problem from different angles. He understands that most situations are complicated and that there are usually many ways to look at something. Sometimes this thoughtfulness is a great strength. It helps him make good decisions. It helps him understand people. It helps him see the truth in confusing situations. But sometimes it becomes a weakness because he thinks so much that he cannot act. He gets stuck in his own mind. He considers so many possibilities that he becomes paralyzed. He cannot move forward. Hamlet is sensitive. He feels things deeply, very deeply. When he is happy, he is very happy. When he is sad, he is very sad. When he is angry, he is very angry. He does not just have feelings on the surface like most people. His feelings go very deep into his heart and his soul. He experiences emotions intensely. This sensitivity makes him a good person. He cares about others. He understands their pain. He feels compassion for people who suffer. But his sensitivity also makes him vulnerable. When bad things happen, they hurt him more than they hurt other people. When he is disappointed, he falls into a deep sadness. Hamlet is loyal. He loves his friends. He is honest with them. He would do anything for them. He is honest with everyone, even when honesty is difficult or dangerous. He tries to do what is right, even when it is difficult. He tries to do what is right even when doing the right thing might hurt him. He cares about people, about justice, about truth, and about goodness in the world. But like all humans, he is not perfect. He can be indecisive. He can be hesitant. He can be moody. He can be difficult to be around sometimes. He struggles with his feelings and with the world around him. Chapter 3. The Tragedy That Breaks Hamlet's Heart. A Kingdom in Darkness. Something terrible has happened in Denmark. Something that will change Hamlet's life forever and set everything in motion. Everything that follows comes from this tragedy. The old king, Hamlet's father, has died. The king is dead. This is not just the death of a ruler. This is a terrible, personal loss for Hamlet. He loved his father very much. His father was a good king. His father was a strong man. His father was intelligent and fair. His father was a model for Hamlet. He was the person Hamlet wanted to become. When the king dies, Hamlet loses not just a father, but a guide, a teacher, a protector, and someone he deeply loved. After his father's death, Hamlet wears black clothes. He does not go to parties and celebrations. He does not laugh or smile. He does not enjoy anything. He sits alone in his room and thinks. He is in deep mourning. His heart is broken. His world has changed forever. But then something happens that is even worse than his father's death. His mother, the queen, marries his uncle Claudius. She marries him very quickly. Too quickly. This happens so soon after the king's death that people in the kingdom are surprised and confused. Hamlet thinks she should wait much longer. He thinks she should respect the memory of his father. He thinks it is completely wrong for her to marry her dead husband's brother so soon. In his mind, she is betraying his father's memory. She should be mourning. She should be wearing black. She should be showing the world that she loved her husband and that she respects his memory. To Hamlet, this is a betrayal of the deepest kind. His mother should be mourning his father, not marrying someone new. His mother should show respect and loyalty to his father's memory. But instead, she marries quickly and seems happy with her new husband. She laughs. She celebrates. She acts as if nothing terrible has happened. This breaks Hamlet's heart. He feels like his mother does not care about his father anymore. He feels like his mother has forgotten his father very quickly. He feels alone and abandoned. Then something even more shocking happens. Hamlet sees a ghost. A ghost is the spirit of a dead person. The ghost appears to Hamlet at night. The ghost looks like Hamlet's father. The ghost speaks to him. Hamlet is terrified and amazed at the same time. The ghost tells Hamlet something terrible, something evil. The ghost says that Claudius murdered him. Claudius killed the king. Claudius put poison in the king's ear while he was sleeping. Claudius murdered the king so he could become king and marry the queen. This is not a simple murder. This is a calculated, planned murder. Claudius waited for the king to fall asleep, and then he poured poison into his ear. The poison killed the king slowly and painfully while he slept. This is shocking. This is horrifying. Hamlet's uncle is not just a bad man. He is a murderer. Hamlet's uncle killed his father. Hamlet's uncle stole the throne from Hamlet. Hamlet's uncle married his mother. Hamlet's uncle has committed the worst possible crime. Now Hamlet has a terrible burden. He knows the truth, but nobody else knows. Nobody else understands what Claudius really is. Everyone thinks Claudius is a good king. Everyone thinks he is a good husband to the queen. Everyone thinks he is a good uncle to Hamlet. But Hamlet knows the truth. He knows that Claudius is a murderer and a liar. He must decide what to do. Should he tell people what he knows? Should he kill his uncle? Should he gather evidence first? How can he prove that the ghost is telling the truth? What if the ghost is lying? What if it is a trick? What should he do? Hamlet is confused and troubled. He does not know what to do. He is grieving his father's death. He is angry at his mother. He is shocked by his uncle's crime. He is troubled by his responsibility. He feels the weight of the world on his shoulders. This is when Hamlet becomes very depressed. This is when he starts to question everything about life. This is when he begins to wonder if life is worth living at all. Chapter 4. Understanding Monologue. A monologue is a special moment in a play. A monologue is when a character speaks alone on stage. The other characters are not there. They cannot hear what the character is saying. But the audience hears everything. The audience hears the character's private thoughts and secret feelings. The audience hears what is really in the character's heart. A monologue is like when you are alone in your room at night and you talk to yourself. Nobody else can hear you. You say things that you would not say to other people. You say things that you would never tell anyone. You say your honest thoughts. You say your secret worries. You say your deepest feelings. You say what you really think about people and about situations. You express your real opinions without fear. In Shakespeare's plays, monologues are very important. They are one of the most powerful tools that Shakespeare uses. They let us understand what a character is really thinking and feeling. They let us see inside a character's mind. They let us see their private world. They let us see their deepest fears, their secret hopes, their hidden dreams, and their private worries. When Hamlet speaks the to be or not to be monologue, he is alone. He is not speaking to anyone else. He is speaking to himself. He is thinking out loud. He is expressing his deepest, darkest thoughts. He is asking himself the biggest questions. He is considering the biggest decision. This monologue is famous because it speaks to something that all humans understand. All of us have difficult times in our lives. All of us have thought about giving up. All of us have wondered if life is worth living. Hamlet's words speak to these feelings. His words speak to something deep inside us. Chapter 5. The famous question: to be or not to be. Now let's look at the most famous line in all of Shakespeare. This line is perhaps the most famous line ever written in the English language. To be or not to be, that is the question. This simple line contains a very big question. This line is asking something very deep and very important. This line is asking the biggest question that a person can ask. To be means to live. It means to exist. It means to continue living. It means to face life every day with all its pain and difficulty. It means to wake up tomorrow and the next day and the day after that and continue to live. To be means to stay alive. Not to be means to not live. It means to stop existing. It means to end. It means to escape from pain through death. It means to choose to die. It means to take your own life. So the question is really asking, should I continue to live or should I die? Should I keep going or should I give up? Should I face tomorrow or should I end everything? This is a very dark question. This is a question that comes from a place of great pain and great suffering. Hamlet is asking this question because he is hurting so much. His entire world has fallen apart. His father is dead. His uncle is a murderer and now a king. His mother has married the murderer. His country is in danger. The people he loves have betrayed him. He has a terrible responsibility to avenge his father's death. He does not know what to do. But this question is not just about Hamlet and his situation. This question is about all humans. Many people in their lives have asked this question. Many people have felt so sad that they wondered if life is worth living. Many people have felt so much pain that they wanted to escape from everything. Many people have thought about death as a way out. Many people have stood at the edge and wondered if they should continue. This is why this monologue is so powerful and so famous. It speaks to something very real and very human. It speaks to something that many of us understand, even if we do not talk about it openly. It speaks to something that many people have felt, but have never told anyone about. When we read this monologue, we must understand something important. Shakespeare is not saying that death is good. Shakespeare is not telling us that we should kill ourselves. Shakespeare is showing us the thoughts of a person who is suffering greatly. He is showing us what depression looks like from the inside. He is showing us how pain can make us think about terrible things. By showing us Hamlet's thoughts, Shakespeare helps us understand something about ourselves. If we are suffering, we are not alone. Others have felt this way too. Even a prince, even a smart man, even a good man like Hamlet has felt this way. Chapter 6. The Problems of Life. In his monologue, Hamlet explains why he is thinking about death. He explains the many problems of life that make him question whether life is worth living. Physical and emotional pain. Life is full of suffering. Everyone experiences pain. We lose people we love. We get sick. We get hurt. We feel sad and lonely. We feel afraid and anxious. We feel angry and frustrated. We feel embarrassed and ashamed. We feel disappointed. We feel betrayed. We feel confused. Life is full of these difficult and painful feelings. When we are alive, we must face these painful experiences every day. We must bear them. We must carry them. We must endure them. Endure means to continue even when things are very, very difficult. We must keep going even when we do not want to. We must survive even when survival is hard. We must wake up every morning and face the pain again. This is exhausting. This is difficult. This is the human experience, but it is very hard. Uncertainty and fear. We do not know what will happen next. We do not know if tomorrow will be better or worse than today. We do not know if our problems will get better or worse. We do not know how long we will live. We do not know if we will succeed or fail. We do not know what will happen to the people we love. We do not know if the people we trust will betray us. We do not know what the future holds. This uncertainty is frightening. This uncertainty makes us anxious. This uncertainty makes us afraid. We cannot plan for the future because we do not know what the future will bring. We are like people walking in the dark, not knowing where the path leads. Responsibility and guilt. Hamlet has a terrible task. He must avenge his father's death. He must kill his uncle. But he is not sure if this is right. He is not sure if he should become a murderer himself, even to punish a murderer. He is troubled by this responsibility. He feels guilty. He feels confused. This is a very human problem. We all have responsibilities that trouble us. We all have things we must do that we are not sure about. We all have choices to make that are not clear. This uncertainty and this responsibility can weigh on us and make us suffer. The human condition. We are all born. We grow up. We learn. We work. We struggle. We love. We lose. We age. We get old. We die. This cycle never changes. This cycle repeats for every human being. We are all caught in this cycle. We cannot escape from it. No matter how rich or powerful or intelligent we are, we will all experience this cycle. We will all grow old. We will all die. This makes life seem like it has no meaning. This makes life seem like a repetition of the same things over and over. We are all doing the same things that billions of people have done before us. We are all going to do the same things that billions of people will do after us. This makes life seem futile. Futile means pointless or without purpose. The unfairness of life. Good people suffer. Bad people succeed. Kind people fail. Cruel people win. The world does not always reward good people or punish bad people. In fact, sometimes the opposite happens. Sometimes the bad people are rewarded and the good people are punished. In Hamlet's case, his uncle is evil and dishonest. His uncle committed murder. His uncle stole the throne. His uncle married the queen. But his uncle is not punished. His uncle is now king. He has everything he wants. He has succeeded through evil. This is not fair. This is unjust. And it makes Hamlet question whether goodness matters at all. Dishonesty and betrayal. The world is full of lies and deception. People say one thing but do another. People smile in your face but stab you in the back. People promise loyalty but then betray you. You cannot trust anyone. You cannot believe what people say. His mother married his uncle. His uncle murdered his father. The people at court pretend that everything is fine. They congratulate the king on his marriage. They celebrate with him. They act as if nothing terrible has happened. But everything is corrupt. Everything is full of lies. Everyone is pretending. When Hamlet thinks about all these problems, when he considers all the pain and suffering and unfairness and dishonesty in the world, he wonders, is life worth living? Is it worth all this pain and suffering and uncertainty and unfairness? Is it worth continuing when so many things are wrong and bad? Chapter 7. The Temptation of Death. If life is so hard and painful and full of suffering, why don't we just choose death? Why don't we just end our suffering? This is what Hamlet considers. This is what he thinks about deeply. Death seems like an easy answer. Death seems like a solution. Death seems like an escape. If we are in pain, we could end the pain by dying. If we are sad and depressed, we could end the sadness by dying. If we are afraid and anxious, we could end the fear by dying. If we are confused and don't know what to do, we could end the confusion by dying. If we are carrying a heavy burden, we could put it down by dying. Death would be like sleep. Sleep is peaceful and calm. When we sleep, we do not think about our problems. We do not feel our pain. We do not worry about anything. We do not think about our responsibilities. We just rest. We are at peace. Death might be like that. Death might be like sleeping forever. It might be a peaceful rest that never ends. When Hamlet thinks about this, death seems attractive to him. Death seems like relief. Death seems like escape from all the pain and suffering and confusion of life. It seems like the answer to all his problems. But here is where Hamlet's thinking becomes very important. He says something that changes everything. He says that we do not choose death even when life is very hard. We do not choose death because we are afraid of death. We do not know what death is. We do not know what comes after death. This fear of the unknown is very powerful. This fear of the unknown stops us from doing things. This fear of the unknown keeps us alive. When we are alive, we know what to expect. Life is painful, yes. Life is hard, yes. But we know how life works. We know how to survive. We know how to live. We understand life. We have experience with life. We understand pain and suffering. But death? Death is unknown. Death is mysterious. Nobody who has died has come back to tell us what death is really like. We do not know what comes after death. We have no experience with death. We have never been dead before. Maybe death is peaceful. Maybe it is like sleep. Maybe it is nothingness. Maybe it is rest. Maybe when you die, you just stop existing and feel nothing forever. But then Hamlet asks himself difficult questions. What if death is not peaceful? What if there is something after death that is even worse than life? What if when we die, we have to face judgment for all the bad things we have done? What if there is punishment after death? What if there is hell? What if we suffer more after death than we suffer in life? These are terrifying thoughts. This fear is very powerful. This fear of the unknown is stronger than the pain of living. So we choose to live. We choose to continue living and suffering because we are more afraid of death and what comes after death than we are of the pain of living. We would rather have pain that we know than face an unknown that we cannot imagine. This is a very important idea. This is a very human idea. We do not live because life is wonderful. We live because we are afraid. We live because the unknown is more frightening than suffering. We live because we fear what might come after death more than we fear the pain of life. Chapter 8. The impact of these words. This monologue is famous all around the world because it makes us feel something very deep. Let's understand why this moment is so powerful and why people still read these words over 400 years after Shakespeare wrote them. First, we see ourselves in these words. When we hear Hamlet's words, we recognize ourselves in them. We recognize our own pain. We recognize our own fear. We recognize our own questions about life and death. Maybe we have not thought about death as literally as Hamlet, but we have all thought about giving up. We have all felt like things were too hard. We have all wondered if life would ever get better. We have all sat alone and felt despair. When we hear Hamlet express these feelings, we feel less alone. We understand that even great and intelligent people have felt this way. We understand that we are not crazy. We understand that our pain is real and our feelings are valid. Second, this monologue makes us think. It makes us ask ourselves important and difficult questions. What is the point of life? Why do we continue living? What gives life meaning? What is worth suffering for? What makes life valuable? What is the purpose of existence? These are philosophical questions. Philosophy is the study of life and truth. These are questions that humans have asked for thousands of years. These are questions that do not have easy answers, but they are important questions. They are questions that we must think about. Third, the monologue is beautifully written. Shakespeare uses words and images that are very moving. He uses language that touches our hearts. He uses language that speaks to our deepest feelings. Even if we do not fully understand every word, we feel the emotion. We feel the power of the words. The beauty of the language makes the dark thoughts even more powerful. Fourth, this monologue shows us that depression and dark thoughts are real. It shows us that depression is not weakness. Dark thoughts do not mean we are bad people. Even princes, even smart people, even good people can struggle with these feelings. Even Hamlet, who is intelligent and thoughtful and good, has these dark thoughts. This helps us understand ourselves better. This helps us be kinder to ourselves and to others who are struggling. It shows us that we are not alone in our darkness. Chapter 9. The Language and Poetry. Now let's talk about the language in this monologue. This is very important for learning English because Shakespeare uses language in a special way. Shakespeare uses very beautiful and very powerful language. He does not write like people speak in everyday conversation. He uses poetic and dramatic language. He carefully chooses every word. He thinks about how the words sound together. He thinks about the meaning of the words. He creates something beautiful and powerful. Imagery. Shakespeare creates pictures in our minds with words. When Hamlet talks about death being like sleep, he uses a simple comparison. We all know what sleep is. Sleep is peaceful and calm. Sleep is a time when we rest. When we sleep, our worries disappear. By comparing death to sleep, Shakespeare helps us imagine what death might be like. It helps us understand Hamlet's thinking. When Hamlet talks about life's pain using words that describe weapons like slings and arrows, he is creating an image in our minds of being attacked. He is making us feel the pain. Questions. Shakespeare uses questions throughout the monologue. To be or not to be? This is a question. Throughout the monologue, Hamlet asks many questions. What comes after death? Why do we live? What is the purpose of life? Questions are very powerful in writing. Questions make us think. Questions make us engage with the text. Questions make us feel like Hamlet is speaking directly to us. Questions make us ask ourselves the same questions. Questions force us to think about things we might not want to think about. Contrast. Shakespeare contrasts life with death. He contrasts pain with rest. He contrasts the known with the unknown. He contrasts being with not being. These contrasts help us understand the complexity of life and death. These contrasts make the ideas more clear and more powerful. By putting opposites next to each other, Shakespeare makes us think about the differences. Repetition. Shakespeare repeats certain words and phrases. This repetition makes those words more memorable and more powerful. When you hear the same word again and again, it stays in your mind. It becomes important. It becomes emphasized. Metaphor. A metaphor is when you say something is something else. For example, Life is a stage. This means that life is like a stage where we act out our lives. We are like actors playing roles. We perform for an audience. The metaphor helps us understand life in a new way. It gives us a new perspective on something familiar. When you read Shakespeare, you are reading some of the most beautiful language in English. The words are carefully chosen. The sounds matter. The rhythm matters. Everything is designed to move us emotionally and intellectually. Shakespeare is not just telling us a story. He is creating an experience. He is making us feel something. He is making us think. Chapter 10. What happens after this moment? It is important to understand what happens to Hamlet after this monologue. Hamlet does not kill himself. Despite all his dark thoughts and all his despair, he does not choose death. He decides to continue living. He decides to act. He has a plan. He decides to test whether his uncle really killed his father. He stages a play. He watches his uncle's reaction to the play. He sees that his uncle is guilty. When Claudius sees the part of the play that shows the murder, he becomes upset. He leaves the theater. This confirms that the ghost was telling the truth. His uncle is indeed the murderer. So Hamlet chooses to live. He chooses action over despair. He chooses to face his problems rather than escape from them through death. He moves forward. He acts. He does something. He is no longer paralyzed by indecision. But Hamlet's story does not end happily. His uncle discovers what Hamlet is planning. His uncle fights back. He tries to protect himself. There is a final battle at the end of the play. Many people die, including Hamlet. But the important thing is that Hamlet lived. He did not give up immediately. He did not end his life right after his dark thoughts. He faced his problems. He tried to do what was right, even though it was difficult and dangerous and ultimately cost him his life. This teaches us something important. Even when life is dark and painful, we can choose to continue. We can choose to face our problems. We can choose to act. We can choose to live. The choice to live is not always easy, but it is a choice we can make. If you loved this episode, please subscribe to our channel. New episodes come out every day, each exploring a classic book that will improve your English and teach you about life. Also, share this with a friend who loves reading. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm James, and until next time, stay curious and keep growing. Bye for now.